We timed it yesterday. 3 songs.
3 songs.
Well, we kind of make it a fun thing. We put 3 cheesy love songs on.
We do.
Not going to tell you which ones we played. Might
So
be a little
embarrassing.
Michael Bolton in there.
Don't tell.
Hey, we're Chris and Megan
Okay.
Rhea back again, and we're talking today just about settling into like a evening routine that is relaxing, but also productive for the next day.
That's it.
And we've kind of found this sweet spot lately. There's something about it being winter too right now here in Michigan that kind of frees you. Like, I know in the summer, you don't get a ton of nice days. So you're always kind of jumping like, we got to be outside. We got to
Yes.
do this around the house. And there's always more to do. But in the winter, you can kind of settle in, get cozy a little bit, and create an evening, a less stress evening routine that kind of sets up your next morning too a little bit. So we just want to talk about that today.
Winter's one of those seasons I used to hate.
Yeah.
I used to absolutely hate winter. I'm a summer girl at heart. Like, get me outside, give me the sun.
You're cold all the time.
Freezing, right? Like, I'm like, I will just thaw in April. It'll be fine. Until I really understood the purpose of winter. So winter is a season that the land has to rest a little bit, right? And while it's resting, while it's not producing things that you can see, there's a lot of growth happening underground.
Ooh.
And when I really,
Come on.
yeah, right? Like that will preach. And so when you really understand, okay, there's a season, there's a permission on this season to rest a little bit, to slow down a little bit, to reflect a little bit. So come springtime, you can really see some growth.
It's almost like the Sabbath in a way,
Yeah.
like a year of Jubilee, like they talk about
Sure.
in the Bible, where it's just a year for the ground to rest, a year or a season for us to just rest and recoup a little bit.
And rest doesn't mean like your life stops, right? You guys, like your life is busy. We are in full-time ministry. We're married. We run this channel. We coach couples. We have a lot of things going on. So rest doesn't mean stopping life, right? Rest is like a mental and a physical posture that you're going after. And we've, in this season, really focused on a couple of things to help us rest in the night, like you said, and get ready for the next day.
So obviously, evening routines are going to look different for every couple, especially if you have little ones, you have kids, you got basketball games, you got different things going on. But here's kind of the rhythm that we have found that's really working for us. So we get home from work around 5:30-ish. Depending on the day, sometimes we have some things going on at night. But we're basing this on like if we have a night at home.
Typical day, yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of rhythm have we found ourselves in when we get home around 5:30?
So Chris and I, a lot of times we cook together.
Yes.
And so depending on the day, right? Like, so there's sometimes you're like, I need a 30-minute window to like go decompress from the day. I might throw in a load of laundry. I might just do a couple things around the house. But we typically come together and cook together.
And I think that's a great point. Like if you can get a 30, especially for the guys, you can let your guy have 30 minutes when he gets home. I like to drink Topo Chico. It's a sparkling water in a
So
bottle.
good.
I grab a Topo Chico.
Pop that cap.
I decompress for 30 minutes, and then I'm all in for the start of our dinner cooking routine.
Right. And that's not to say I can't. I mean, I work full time too. So sometimes I'm like,
You do the same?
I'll do whatever helps me relax. Right. So we cook dinner together typically. We eat dinner together typically.
Yes, always.
Always. And then after dinner, we clean up together.
That's something that I think is key. Some people, I think they cook and they leave a mess in their kitchen till the next morning. And then they do the dishes in the morning or something.
Right.
We have found that after dinner, just put that all, take 15 minutes. We timed it yesterday. 3 songs.
3 songs.
Well, we kind of make it a fun thing. We put 3 cheesy love songs on.
We do.
Not going to tell you which ones we played. Might be a little
embarrassing.
Michael Bolton in there.
Don't tell.
But we put 3 songs on, and we cleaned our entire kitchen. And it took 3 songs, which is about 12 minutes. And then it's done.
Yeah.
And the stress of it is out of your mind.
And one of the reasons that we do that, I read a book years ago by Kendra Adachi, and she asks you this question, and it's, what can I do now to make life easier later.
Ooh.
And
that's interesting because most people, it's like instant gratification, put off the hard thing. But this is saying like, let's do the hard thing now.
What can I do now? Mm-hmm. And so for us, that looks like cleaning the kitchen, right? Because I want to wake up. I'm a very visual person. And if I wake up to clutter and stress, I'm automatically stressed to start my day, right? So that looks like cleaning the kitchen. For me, that looks like prepping lunches and breakfasts and knowing what we're going to have for dinner the next day, taking meat out or whatever you're going to do, prepping our meals for the next day, which is super simple while you're cooking. You can easily throw together a salad for the next day, especially on this health challenge we just went through that we talked about in the last video. We needed to be on top of meals. Otherwise, we were going to be out and go, oh no, what are we going to do, right?
Right. So we'll clean the kitchen. And then what we'll do most days is we'll do what Megan calls a 10-minute pickup, where we'll just say, okay, let's take the next 10 minutes and pick up the house.
Yep.
Make the bed if it's not made. Usually the bed's made. The bed's made in the morning. But we'll just pick up the house. For us, we'll just do it. If you have kids, you can just say, hey, 10-minute pickup. And everyone just goes for 10 minutes. You set a timer. And what?
Yep. Yeah, you set a timer and you just go. Now, do you always want to do this?
No, I don't want to.
I always want to do this.
But I will say I feel way better once it's done.
You feel like you can actually relax. And you'd be amazed at how much you can get done in 10 minutes. And for all of the recovering perfectionists out there, set a timer. Because if not, you'll just clean your entire house. And no one needs to be doing that at 7:30 on a Thursday. Like
we clean our house top to bottom every Saturday.
Yep.
Right? So this is just 10-minute pickup to maintain.
Yeah, wiping things down, putting things away, maybe throwing in a load of laundry. But you can get a lot done if you do it together in 10 minutes.
So then it's usually around, 7:30 or so-ish?
7:38. It just depends on the day, right?
Yeah, it depends on the day. And so what we'll do then is kind of go our separate ways a little bit. I might pay some bills, or if there's some things that I've got to do around the house, I might do that. What do you do in that time?
Same thing. Like I'm doing a little house maintenance stuff.
Laundry.
If we did some laundry, I'm kind of winding down any emails from the day, anything that I haven't gotten done for my work day. That's the window it goes into. I'll also change out of my clothes, right? Like do some mobility, put my pajamas on, I don't wash my face until I go to bed, let's be honest. But just kind of winding things down. Hannah Brencher says it's the night turn down service, right? So we're both kind of going separate directions and turning down our brains for the night, kind of shutting things down individually so we can go and shut things down together.
Yeah, so about 8:30 p.m. at night, we will come together and we'll throw the fire on in the winter, especially. Love this. We'll dim the lights, we'll throw the fire on, and we got our TV and we'll watch a show together. And that just gives us an excuse to kind of wind down, watch a show, cuddle on the couch a little bit, and just relax together in each other's vicinity. Now, I will say, it's very easy here when you're watching a show just to get on your phone, screens, ignore each other a little bit.
Disconnect, right? Like that's not the goal.
No, the goal is just to kind of cuddle, spend some time just relaxing together.
You could also play a game. I mean, you can also do something else besides watch a show. We love a good movie and a good show.
Some of you have kids, you're probably putting them to bed. You're probably going through those routines. So the point is at the end of the day to try to do something together. Even if it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, do something to connect with each other. That's what we try to do. And then what we do is we go upstairs, we get ready for bed, and we read a little bit in bed together. And
that's a good point, because one of the things that we found in our marriage works great, and we also know this from coaching couples, is going to bed together.
We think it's crucial to go to bed together. I know some people are like night owls. Some people have to get up at different times.
And some people's work schedules just don't allow for that, right? But overall, in general, if you can go to bed together, statistically, look it up, you're going to find just the connection that you have. I know for us, I don't feel right if I'm like in bed and you're like, no, I want to finish this movie. I can't even fall asleep, really.
I mean, there's sometimes.
Sure.
Sometimes I'll stay up a little bit later
Yeah.
than you if a football game is on or something's going on and you want to crash out. But for the most part, 98% of the time, we're going to bed. And it helps, like Meg said, with connection. It helps me feel connected to you. Helps with intimacy.
Yeah.
You're going to bed together, you know.
There's more of an opportunity to connect sexually and intimately.
Plus, with guys especially, they stay up later. They start watching something maybe they shouldn't be watching, and it just go to bed with your wife. You married this woman, and with your husband, you married this person. Have an intimacy for the most part. You know, do that routine together.
Yes.
Megan lately will put frownies on my forehead.
Guys.
She puts frownies on her forehead, and now
I'm like,
she's putting frownies on my forehead.
Come here. Have you guys jumped on the frowny train? I love them. I swear by them for my forehead.
But then, something lasted like right before, you know, we maybe get into bed. We'll try to set up the next day. Like you said, you'll set up the next day during the kitchen, during cooking. What are some other things you do just to prepare for the next day?
Yeah. Something actually you do that is a really kind gift to me is you always set up the coffee maker.
Yeah, I make coffee for her for the next day.
Which is a love language in and of itself, right? I get up and it's done. I'm a morning exerciser, so I will lay out my clothes to work out the night before just to alleviate that one mental step. I'll get my clothes ready for work the next day. Like I said, I'm usually prepping breakfast while I'm, putting dinner away.
Something I've been doing is getting my briefcase together and putting it
Yes.
by the door. So one less thing that I have to round everything up, at the morning of and be stressed out, but it's all ready to go for the next day.
Yeah. I'm usually doing a quick calendar check of both. We share a Google Calendar. And so just kind of going over those things. Okay, who's going where? What time are we going to be home tomorrow night? Where do you need support? And what meetings are you going to be in tomorrow? That sort of thing.
So I hope that helps you. That's a little bit of our evening routine. We're planners. And one of the reasons we plan and we like to have a plan is because of what Proverbs says in Proverbs 21:5.
The plans of the diligent surely lead to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty.
Successful people have a plan.
Yeah.
They make a plan for their lives, for their everyday lives. They don't let life just happen to them. They make a plan. And so that's why we do that. Hopefully that helps you. So what is a little recap of this video here?
Okay. Yeah, and we just like to say success doesn't always mean just in your job, in your career, right? Success really means in your relationship and in your marriage as well. So to recap, the things that we would encourage you to do that really work well for us is ask yourself the magic question, what can I do now to make life easier later? Do a 10-minute pickup the night before or at night, right? And go to bed together.
Connect with each other briefly and then go to bed together. I hope that helps. It helps us.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully some of that helps you as well. We also have a marriage course. If you're interested in that, we will link it below. Something that just helps you thrive. Our whole thing is taking your marriage from roommates to romance. We have a course that helps you do just that. If you want a little bit more information, that link will be below. So thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, we'd love to have you do it, or share this video with someone you think might need it.
Maybe share it with your spouse and be like, hey, I want to do a couple of these things at night with you.
That's right.
I like you.
So have a great day, everyone.
Bye, guys.